right, Jay Cornwell, take care, bro. All right, what's up, YouTube? So here's the thing, too, man. One of the things that I noticed, one of the things that I realized is, you know, there's a lot of surface level emotional narratives that drive people to make decisions. The world is much more complex. Anytime I hear like a politician running on these ideas and everything they're saying is surface level, they run from debate, they run from pushback. They don't really talk about their policies and how they're going to make it work. Man, I just, what happened to those days, man? What happened to those days? What's up, YouTube? So I've been on Instagram. I've been live on there. When doing credit spreads, do you ever do credit? I don't do credit spreads, bro. I keep it simple. I keep it real simple. I'll show you my positions right now too. It's easier for me to, guys, do me a favor, run over to YouTube because I can show my screen on YouTube. I can't do that here on Instagram. How's everybody doing on YouTube? Thanks for joining. Switch from IG. Let's go. I hate that this freaking little box never stays the way it was before. Like, bro. Let me see. Yeah, that worked better, I think. All right. Thanks. It's not done yet, but all right, I'm gonna get off here, y'all. I'll see you guys on the tube. Good night, y'all. All righty. Let's focus on YouTube. I want to show you guys the positions that I'm in right now. It was scary hours yesterday. I mean, the stock market went crazy. It was not very good looking. But I'm still doing well. I made about $4,800 last month. Let me see. I'll show you guys. Positions. Close positions. Let's go to, this month is ugly. Custom. Let's go to last month. So for October, look, oh no, we didn't do as good as I thought. We did $4,200 last month. And all I did was sell puts. That's all I did. These are all the positions that I took. I had SoFi twice, 3 times. Damn, I was making money from SoFi. So you could see first trade, I made $600, $946, $439, $1,000, $583, $694. Not bad. Not bad at all. Right? And let's look at last month, the month prior. We didn't do, I don't think I did that good the month prior, but let's double check. Whoops. September. How we do that? Look, we did $6,000 the month before. And we're at $30,000 so far this year. So it's been good. Now these are the positions I'm currently in. So you guys can see here, I have ARM with a 147 strike. That one's up $565. So I closed this position. I made $565. I'm keeping it. That one expires on the 14th. So 10 days, 9 days. I like it. I like where I'm sitting. ARM again. I'm down on this one, but I like it still. I like where we sitting. We got 2 weeks on that one. We good. Broadcam, I'm getting cooked. $300 I'm down, but I like where we sitting. These are the strike prices. That 345, that 150, that 147. These are the strike prices. Okay. And if you look at the stock, let's look at AVGO. AVGO, this is Broadcam. 358.98. Look where, so it needs to go under 345 November 28th, after November 28th for me to get assigned this. So probably not going to happen. I like where I'm at. Hims is at 37 and 42. You guys can see I'm up on both of these. Robinhood, I'm up a little bit on that. MicroStrategies, I'm cooked. Let me see. MicroStrategies is at 235. MSTR, let's see where we're looking at. 255. Oh, I'm good. So if it goes under 235 in the next 3 weeks, I'm cooked. But look where we're at. We got plenty of room, plenty of space here. And so I also have TSM. I'm never afraid of TSM. I'm never afraid of TSM. TSM is always a good look. And so I can make $1,000 on that one. So this month, if all of my trades are W's, I will make 1,000, 1,200. That's 2,200. That's 3,300. That's 4,700. That's 5,700. That's 6,300. That's 7,400, and that's $9,200. And that's rounding down. Okay, so I can make $9,200 this month from the trades that I'm in. This was not possible 10 years ago. Buying a house was possible. This was not possible 10 years ago. You couldn't just start an app with zero money or with a few $1,000s and start trading for free on your phone. You couldn't do that. You couldn't just sign up with 10 grand, for example, or $20,000 and set up a level 3 margin account and start trading with leverage. Couldn't do it. And to learn this stuff, you probably would have had to go to Wall Street, intern. But now there's YouTube and ChatGPT. And so for all of the things that my younger people are complaining about that they don't have access to, that the older generation had, there's something that you have access to now that we didn't have access to. You don't need to go to college anymore to learn skill sets, to get better at stuff, to start a business. You know what it would have cost? This is my business right here. Let me show you guys something. Do you know what it would have cost to start this business right here? This business right here. This is my website. Bro, I'm on the current app. What the heck? What the hecky? I'm not sure why this is not working. Primary display, current application. Okay. This is my website. This website, when I was young, would have cost tens of thousands of dollars to create. To be able to sell products on a website, tens of thousands of dollars. You can do this for free today in 2025. Just go to Shopify, start a free account, put a product on there. You can market it for free on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, and you can make an unlimited amount of money. This video right here, to make this, $2,000. Now you can head over to ChatGPT, go to Sora, or go to Google and do Google Gemini, right? I'll show you guys something. I'll show you guys something right now, actually. Something that's useful for y'all. I don't care if you know how to paint or draw. You can sell your art for free. What would it cost tens of thousands of dollars to start your business? You can do for free and create income. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. My bad, hold on. All right, so let me come up with a product. Watch this. I'm gonna show you guys right now. Whoops, hold on. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to sora.chatgpt.com. Okay, and I'm going to come up with a product here. I'm going to look for a product right here. Okay. So in 2025, you can take a picture of this with your phone. Couldn't do that. Couldn't do that when I was in high school, when I was in college. Couldn't do this. Okay. And then I can go to Sora and I can take this image and I can make what would cost $2,000. I can make a high production video. Let me show you. All right. Let's see. What should we do here? Let's see. What should we do here? I'm going to. So this is Sora, guys. Right here. This is Sora. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna go with make a cinematic video for a promotion for tomb45.com. I want it to be cinematic. I wanted to showcase the styling product. This is for barbers, but I just want a cinematic, nice background. This product is like a clay, and it's dry, so maybe some type of effect that way. Oh, I didn't select the microphone. Give me 1 second. Let's retry that. All right, now we're cooking. All right, let's redo that. Create a cinematic promo video for this styling product. It's called Indestructible Clay, and it's for men. I want like a cinematic background. I want it to have like a dry, textured effect and close out with tomb45.com. That's the brand. All right, and let's see what it cooks in a little bit. Let's give it a second. Like, you got politicians that are lying to your faces instead of building you up, instead of telling you what you're capable of. They tell you how effed up your life is and why you need them and why these guys are the enemies. But when you look at the data, the math ain't mathing. The math is not mathing when you look at the data. Let me say what's up to everybody. What's up, Jacob? That's Fidelity, but I built an app. I'll show you guys the app in just a bit. Crystal, thank you. Appreciate it. Of course. You know, God keeps pouring in your cup, man, as long as there's spillover and you know, you're a vessel for his children to keep eating or being fed, right? Marketing ad, yeah. Yeah, you can just put marketing ad. Nice house, brother. Much respect. Bossio, keep doing it. Thank you, Megatron Mark. I appreciate the love. All right, so we're just waiting for this to finish creating, and then I'm gonna show it to you guys once it's done. And we'll see. It might not be perfect, but that's okay. You go back and you edit it. But I'll show you guys in the meantime. I'll show you guys the app that I built. So this app that I built is called BossioInvesting.com. I built this. Okay, you can log in. If you're a school member, you don't have to put a password in, right? So if you're in 6FB mentorship, you would just put your email in and it would say 6FB member recognized. That is insane. This is customized. This is coded from the ground up. You don't just you can't just create this out of thin air. This logic, this front end and back end and API calls and the way that just popped up. Now, if you're paying monthly for it, $10 a month, let's say you sign up and you do the $10 a month because you don't want to be in the 6FB community because you're tripping. Okay. Then you would just pay for it. And then when you go to log in, look, it knows, oh, this is not a 6FB member. They're going to need a password. Okay. All right. Now I can enter my password and I can log in. Let's access the terminal. It's authenticating, and look at the terminal. I did the matrix background. You can see the VIX at the very top, and it teaches you what the VIX is about with the info tag, with the info pop-up. Okay. You can refresh the data so that it's up to date. You can look at what strategy, what your risk tolerance is: aggressive, balanced, conservative. Okay. You can look at my watch list, the S&P 500, the Russell 1000, or create your own watch list. And then you can filter everything. It's a screener for the best opportunities that are out there. And so when you come here, here's all the best opportunities, so you don't have to spend hours looking for good opportunities and trades. This is how I got here, where if you look at what I've made in the last 6 months, let me show you guys what I've made in the last 6 months. I'm doing this super part-time. You guys know I have a life. I have several things that I do. I manage a family, like not manage a family, but I have a family, and I try to be there as much as I can, right? 30 grand in 6 months. That's not chump change. And I'm doing this, spending 30 minutes a month doing this and teaching it to other people who are making 3 grand a month doing it too. By the end of this year, I fully expect to make about 80 grand, because as this continues to snowball, you have more capital, you can get into more trades. I completely think that I'll be at 80 grand by the end of the year just from this. And anyone can do it. It's going to take you some time to learn it, but do you want to learn it? Are you willing to learn it, or do you think Mom Dami's going to save you? Because he ain't. Uh-oh. So check this out. Look at this shit, bro. It doesn't even know. Okay. It doesn't even know. Hold on. It doesn't know what the lid looks like. It don't even know what my logo look like. It has an idea. So we're going to have to fix it to actually have the correct logo. But this used to cost a lot of money to do. Check this out, y'all. Y'all ready? Hold on. All right. This is what it came up with. Here we go.
Introducing indestructible clay, Barber grade, stronghold, and a dry, textured finish built for men who don't back down. A refreshing scent works with every hair type and every legend. And when the day's over, it rinses right out. Indestructible clay by Tomb 45.
Bro, you don't even have to be a content creator anymore. You don't have to have crazy equipment. You can take that, you can run an ad behind it, $10 a day. You have a free website. You can make the product your own if you go and learn it. I made my shave gel in my kitchen. I built a multi-million dollar brand that has done millions of dollars every year for many years. You guys know how long Tomb 45 has been around. And I started it with a shave gel in my kitchen. But I had to do the camera. I had to do the editing. I had to do all of this shit. Now you don't even need that. You don't even need a warehouse anymore. What do you mean y'all don't like this new generation don't have opportunities? Bro, this shit is insane what you can do in 2025. And it's available to everyone. It has been democratized. And how did this happen? How did it happen? Do you guys know? It happened because of billionaires. I know we don't like them. I know it's popular to hate them. Large language models. The first large language model cost, I think it was $150 million. So imagine you don't even know if something's going to work, but you're going to invest $150 million into something, praying and hoping that it helps, or it could bankrupt your company. Or it could get you fired. It can get you voted out of your own company because you made the wrong decision. but they did it. They built the first large language model after spending $150 million in GPUs, in creating in energy, in hiring the best engineers in the world, and they built something that is life-changing for society. You guys get what I'm saying? So that's impressive to me. Is it perfect? No, but if you get good at it, you can refine it. This was one shot. This is one try. You can get better at it if you're willing to go and learn these skills. And you can do this on your phone. Guess what every American, whether you're homeless or you have money, has access to in 2025? A phone. No, they don't. Yes, they do, bro. Tell me I'm wrong. And the internet. I remember when I was younger, I used to have to go to the library and wait in line, wait my turn. And you got an hour max, then you had to get off, wait in line again to get back on. The internet was slow as shit. That was my access to the internet. Now you have access everywhere to the internet. You can go with your phone. You can go to Starbucks. You can start building a business like this. But I don't have money to do a product. I don't know how to make a product. You can go learn it. And if you can't do that, what skill set now can you do to build something? There's got to be something. There are people, I live in Florida. There are immigrants that come here all the time. They start a cleaning company, a cleaning business. They build a profile on Google My Business, and they start getting clients. They go on Facebook, and they start promoting their business. And they get a couple clients. And then it grows. And then it grows. And then it grows. 1 hour for MSN Messenger and MySpace. Facts. So anyways, what I was doing was I was showing you guys this app before I got distracted. I learned how to I coded this from the ground up. I learned about API connections. I learned about databases. I learned about third-party services that give you access from rich people. Okay, the reason why I was able to build this is because I went to Polygon.io. They spent millions of dollars to get market data and offer it to people. And so I get to spend a few $100s a month to have access to market data. I plug it into the software that I built. And now I have access to all of the stock market data I can filter through, and have instant access to the best opportunities every single day. 10 years ago, that was impossible. It was impossible. Preach, Jacob, preach. Let me answer some of these questions, guys. Do you think it's possible that I can do it in a small? That's the best part. You can do this anywhere. You can do it anywhere. You know how people hate Amazon? Let me show you guys something about Amazon. I did this course a while ago. It was $10. What is the median? Let me see. What does the median seller on Amazon FBA produce in revenues annually? Let's see what the answer for this is. So take a look at this, guys, and I'm going to zoom in here for y'all. Independent sellers in the U.S. average over $290,000 in annual sales in their store in 2024. I've done a lot more than this for many years. We've done millions every year for many years. And I started with a shave gel in my kitchen. It don't have to be shave gel. It don't have to be. It could be t-shirts. It could be a drink. As long as you're following the laws, right? You know how to knit, crochet. It could be hats. It could be boxes. It could be paper for boxes. It can be ornaments. Okay. You know how this became possible for the average American? A billionaire. A billionaire took the risk, spent the money, had sleepless nights, and created FBA, fulfillment centers across the country where you don't need warehousing. You don't need a $20,000 forklift. You don't need 10 employees, customer support to be able to make that type of income, because Amazon offers it to you. You leverage it as a mom sitting at home in the middle of nowhere, America, and you get an opportunity to contribute and to be part of the economy. Our government ain't doing that shit for you. The government is not going to do that. The government is going to depend on people like this, on the Amazon sellers, on the average American who's making money doing FBA to pay their taxes so that they can put more burden on our economy. You feel me? But guys, let's continue with this. I learned how to code in 3 months as a 36-year-old man because of the technology that's available today, because of what rich people did, right? So I'm not saying there aren't people who take advantage of the system. I'm just saying this war between classes is overblown, and it's only used because it's what people want to hear, and it wins votes. But if you on your own shit, if you're trying to grow as an individual like most people should be, and you're learning stuff and you're filling your cup and then you're pouring into others, that changes lives. And that's possible for all of you guys. Okay? And this ain't the only app I built. I built a lot of apps. And let me show you guys how I'm doing it. I might be cooked for showing you guys. No, just kidding. Let me show you guys how I'm doing it. Let me fix this. So I showed you guys how to start a product line, an e-commerce business, how to get content to promote it. You can run ads doing it, even if you just post it on your Instagram and boost it, or just post it. It might get looks, and do it every single day. It takes no time to do it. You use your camera and you use your camera and you create content from it. Okay, let me show you guys. So did you know that most of the large companies today, 80% of their code is from AI? Did you guys know that? So this is a coding platform I'm showing you guys. It's called Cursor. And you can see there's like stuff going on here. This is a terminal. And in this terminal, you guys can see there's stuff going on here. There's beep booping and weird stuff going on. That is AI that is coding for me. And you can use natural language to start coding, but you have to learn how apps work. You have to know about the databases, how to host a database. You need to know about backends, about front ends, about APIs, about querying the databases, about wiring it all together. And I know that sounds like a lot, but I promise you can learn it. If you can learn how to do a haircut, if you can learn how to cook a meal, if you can learn how to drive a forklift or a semi-truck, you can learn how to do this too. Unless you don't know how to speak. But if you know how to speak and explain things, you can absolutely build an app. You guys want to build an app with me? What app do you guys want to build? Let's make this fun. New window. So we're going to create a new window. This is called Cursor, okay? And AI for coding has different large language models. One of them is called ChatGPT, okay? But ChatGPT has its own large language model for coding, and it's called Codex, okay? You can also use Google Gemini. Some of you guys know what Google Gemini is. There's one that's very, very good that I really like. It's called Claude Code, and it's made by Anthropic, okay? And I'll show you the website. Whoops. Actually, I'll just show you what Claude looks like. So this is Claude Code. Looks just like ChatGPT. It's just a competitor, all right? And they all design and build large language models. You guys want to build this app or not? I don't see anybody in the comments. The thumbs up versus the thumbs down ratio is cooked. Like I'm all right, let's open a project. What's an app that you guys would want to design? What do you guys want to, what solution do we need to create? Something simple though, something that we can do quick. Thank you guys. Thanks for the participation. Nothing crazy, not like nothing that's super robust, like a SaaS or anything like that. Just something simple. All right, you know what? Let me see. Maybe I'll just pull up my own. All right, let's do this one. So this is a Barber enterprise tracker, okay? So once you install, first you have to learn how to install Claude Code to your terminal, okay? So you're gonna download an app called Cursor, and all of this is available on YouTube, okay? So this is what I'm gonna do. Make sure that the local servers are loading, and I want to see the web app so I can show my viewers on my current live stream. Okay. So this is an app that I've been working on. We have a lot of spreadsheets in the Six Figure Barber mentorship that you guys use. And, you know, spreadsheets are hard for some people. It's confusing for some people. Imagine if I can take all of those spreadsheets and consolidate them into an app. So I'm gonna make a phone app out of this, but it's also gonna be a web app, and it's gonna be mobile responsive, but you'll also be able to download it from the App Store. It's a simple app. I have made way more complex ones. Like my options app is much more complex, but check it out. So I built this, and this is how we kind of run. I took a spreadsheet that we use for our current barbershop enterprises, and I built this. And so you guys can see 6FB Barbershop Tracker. You can see all of our locations. So I can go to a location. I can see that location's numbers, right? And I can see how many chairs there are. If I need to put in revenues, I can put in the revenues, right? There's 9 barbers. The average chair rent is $320. And you guys can see, you know, what the locations are making every single month, all right? I can see what I'm profiting every single month. I can see if I have an expense, okay, I need to add an expense. My rent this month, let's say, was $4,000, was $4,000. Imagine I can take a photo and put the receipt or the invoice in, right? My P&L, I can see the P&L, and I have different charts, and I can build on this, right? Now, if I want to add a new location, all right, I can go to locations. Let me go to all locations, and I can, let me see if I'm able to do this actually. Oh, I don't have a add location button. So let's go and implement that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say, you have to learn how to use this now. And it's going to take you months to learn this, more than months, but you can learn it, and it's possible for you. All right. So watch this. Currently, the app has no way to add a location. What is best practice? Let's come up with a plan to implement a way to add new locations. All right. I'm going to switch over to plan mode. You guys can see this toggle right here. You use Shift Tab, and you guys can see I'm going to go to plan mode. And so AI is going to start working on plan mode. And I'm going to go back and forth with this to check it out. By the way, I built a booking app with this. It's not out, but I built one. And it's badass. And there's AI in it and everything. Just like I built the screener. And this right here has made me over $30,000 this year alone. This app right here. That was not possible when I was younger. It's possible in 2025. You don't need Mamdami. You need to go learn some shit. And you can learn everything I'm showing you guys for free. Oh my gosh. And none of this shit would have been possible without billionaires. Because the government didn't create none of this shit. All right, so look, it's coding right now. You guys can see, and I like to watch this stuff because I've learned how to code by doing this and reading the lines and seeing what it's doing, what it's thinking. Today, I understand different terms, right? I know what Next.js is. I know what a front end and a back end is. I know what APIs are. I know how it works. All right, so it's coding. You see all the paths. You can see everything that is work. I know what database and schema is. Database schema is. I know what MD files are. I know how to host an app online. For whatever reason. All right, so while that's continuing to cook, let me see if there's any question. Oh, Notes app. I like that. I've been working on a productivity app for barbers. What do you think about that? So I've been working on a productivity app for barbers. It's going to be included with 6FB. And imagine you'll be able to download this app, and every day it's going to coach you. So every day it's going to know what the last day looked like, what the last week looked like, what the last month looked like, right? And it's going to tell you, yo, today you shouldn't be sitting. By looking at your data, these are 3 action items you should be doing today. And then you can track it. You can say you did it or you didn't, and it'll gamify it. And there'll be a leaderboard, a global leaderboard. So everybody who has the app can see what's going on, and we're learning from each other. And we're seeing, dude, it's going to be such a badass app. And it's going to be included with 6FB. I'm excited about that one. And then hopefully we'll be introducing you guys a new booking software in the next year, Q1, in the next few months, I'm thinking. I got a lot of shit that I've been working on behind the scenes. I have literally locked myself in a dungeon to make 6FB the best shit ever. So I'm excited to be launching. And what I think I'm going to do is I might lock it to just one-time payments instead of monthly, but I'm not 100% sure. He said, go learn some shit. Straight up, man. Straight up. That's the only difference between you today and a better version of you. The stuff that you learn today, your future self is going to be thankful and grateful for. All right, so look, if I'm looking at this, you guys can see this is the plan. So I'm going to scroll down. Let's actually read the plan. And I'm sorry if this is insane to you guys, but what is going on here? All right. What is going on? It's freaking glitching. So look, the implementation approach. We're going to reuse design patterns from existing location settings component following existing form validation patterns in the app. Maintain consistent. Okay. No API changes needed. Estimated time is about 2 to 3 hours. Existing location will work as is. API is backward compatible. Database schema is already includes in these fields. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say yes and bypass permissions, and it's going to start building it. Once it's built, we'll go and we'll test it, and I'll show you guys how to troubleshoot it if there's any issues. So here's the plan. Here's the to-do list. It's going to read existing location manager component to understand the current implementation. It's going to read the location settings component to understand revenue model selector UI. It's going to update location form to add revenue. Like, all of this stuff is the to-do list, and you're going to be able to watch it. Look, it's already knocked out the first 2 to-dos. Now it's going to really start implementing and building. So, Carson, the app that I'm talking about is not going to be available for a while, bro, for a few months. So, but it'll be easy. We're going to make it easy to switch over if you want to. Thank you, Andre. Appreciate it. It'll be very easy to switch over. So anyways, let's go back to this app, right? And so, I have my enterprise dashboard, right? So currently the barbershops make about 114,000 a month. That's what they're making. Pretty dope to see that. We have 111 chairs available. 101 are occupied. The reason why we have a 9% vacancy is because we just opened a new location, and that's why it's like that. Avalon Park just opened last week. And so it's going to take a while for us to fill those chairs, but we think we'll fill them fairly quickly. But if you look at our other shops, they're mostly full, right? So they're mostly full. And so I can go to each individual location if I wanted to and see the numbers there, right? Now, once you going to add a new location, you can do your rent projections, you can do your station calculator, you can do your build out calculator and see how much it's going to cost you to open that location. And then once that location is up and running, you can track all of the numbers and keep building your enterprise. See how that works? So this will be available to you guys soon as an app, because a lot of people don't like using the spreadsheets, but this is going to be really, really cool. You'll be able to sign in, sign out, all that good stuff. Is it worth the switch when it comes out? Hell yeah. I wouldn't be building it, bro, if it wasn't worth the switch. And it's not me building it. Like, I was building my own app, but I'm partnering with some amazing developers. And between the app that I built and what they already had built, we're building the best app ever. I'm gonna have 1,000 new subscribers the first month that we launch this app, because it's gonna be that good. All right, guys. So let's look at what we've done so far. It's done. So it says what we changed. We added the location form. So visual revenue model selector with 2 interactive cards. So you can do chair rent or commission, whatever your revenue model is. And why does it know to do this? Because we created what's called an MD file. And an MD file it's called a markdown file. And what the AI does is it references that markdown file every time it's going to create a new feature, because that markdown file is going to teach the AI what the vision for this app is. So it already knew that there's two different revenue models, chair rent or commission. Okay. It's going to have a conditional commission rate input, visual revenue split indicator showing shop versus stylist percentages, real-time calculations, form validation, right? Revenue. So anyways, it's going to have all this shit. Let's go check it out. Let's go see if it worked. All right, so this is where it wants me to click. And if we come over to the main screen here, we can see, I'm going to zoom in. Boom, it added the add location button. Now, it's not the prettiest. We need to polish this, right? So I can go in. Actually, let me show you guys. Let me come in here. This is now we're getting a little next level here, right? So we can come in here and what's going on here? Open internal browser for this project. So this is the AI from Cursor, which I like to use when I'm trying to do something that's a little more detailed, right? So if it's like moving a button a little bit down, this is the best way to do it. The problem, for whatever reason, is it's not giving me what project are you working on? It should be. Let me stop writing. Barbershop Enterprise Tracker, the current project that's open in Cursor. I like to talk to it. This is why I tell you guys, this is possible for anyone. If you can speak, you can do this. Okay. All right. So let's scroll down. Here's the browser. Let's go here. Boom. All right. So now that we're here, I can do select element. I can select this button. So now the button's selected, and I can say, can you move the button down so that there's some spacing by about 10% or 20%? All right. So let's click it. Let's see what it does. Do I recommend you guys get into this? Probably not, unless you're going to devote a lot of time to it, right? Now, in the meantime, while it's doing that, let's check and see if it works. So I'll come here, and we're going to click Add Location, and look at that. I can add locations. So I'm going to put Avalon Park. No, I'm going to put the next one, which is going to be, what's our next one? Lexington Oaks. Lexington Oaks is our next location. It's, let's say it's 1,200 square feet. The rent, I think, is $45. Triple net, I think, is $5, but we'll put 8. Open date is going to be December. Look at this. I didn't do any of this. December 15th, right? So you want to test everything, right? It's going to start with, let's say, 5 chairs occupied. Status is planned. Okay. I love that. We're going to do, we can do chair rent. We can do commission. Look, all of this was built out for me. Okay. So we're going to do chair rent. We're going to save. So did it save it? There it is. It's saved. Okay. I can edit it. Perfect. Now we have to check to see if there's any errors. And you guys can see, holy smokes, there's a lot of errors. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to copy it. Okay. Even though it's working, there's still some errors. But we added a location. Let's see if it shows here. Look, it shows in the drop down. So all of this is working. Okay. Love it. So we're going to come here. Back to the screen that I'm on. And I'm going to open another terminal. And these are some errors that showed up in the console log. Can you tell me why this is happening and come up with a plan to fix this? All right. And then I'm going to enter the errors that we copied, and it's going to start doing its work. And then you guys can see this is done. We're going to review the code. Okay. Let's find issues. But these are skills that you can learn. Everyone can learn. What do you guys think about this? I notice I'm losing viewers. It's not that exciting, obviously. Okay. All right, looks like it didn't find any issues. So we went ahead and saved it. I'm gonna do it one more time. But it doesn't look like. Let me do a hard reload. And it doesn't look like it moved down. But the code was adjusted. The button does not look like it has any more spacing than before. All right, so I'm going to try this again, and we're going to select the whole thing. You can see by the elements that I've attached, the add location and the manage location text and button are too close to the top bar where the export data button is. Can we move it down a little bit so that there's some spacing and there's a gap? All right, let's see if that'll work. So you guys can see there's also the to-do running here. And these are the errors that it found. So this is the fixes that it's doing. If you don't know what environment configuration is, you'll learn that later if you really do this. Local storage. We don't want local storage. That doesn't scale, but it works for now. Add email service health check, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Because one of the things that I added to this that's not available on a spreadsheet, okay, it's not available on a spreadsheet, right, is that let's say one of your managers, you give an account to your manager and he's managing or she's managing Tampa Palms. And when they do Tampa Palms and they go to put in revenue entry and this number drops from 8 to 7, oh shit, we lost a barber. I want a notification as the owner that we lost a barber. And then I want to go and ask what happened, right? So it's got, so if we go to settings, you guys can see notifications enabled. So I can get text message notifications, email notifications, and all of that is set up. Isn't that cool? So, oh, and I'll get weekly reports automatically emailed to me. See that? I can choose what date and time I want those sent to me. And I can get monthly P&L reports sent to me as well. Okay, so this will be available to everyone in 6FB. And look, all right, so remember how we were talking about that button being moved? Want to see if it worked? Check a look, guys. It worked. The add location button is now down. The manage locations text is now lower. It worked. All right. And if you want to add locations, you go to manage location here. You go to all locations on this drop down. Then you go to manage locations, and then you can add your locations or take some away. This was not possible. Now it is. Thanks to billionaires. And like as a barber, there's way more tools than there were before. When I started as a barber, you couldn't even take credit cards. We had ATMs. That's crazy. Boy, I'm old. All right, I'm going to stop building this app and focus on the one that I was trying to build before. Yeah, Pepe, we were coding. That is correct. We were coding. So this looks crazy. Coding. In the meantime, let's watch something together, y'all, since we live streaming. All right, let's see what Meet Kevin is talking about. He said,
literally a screenshot from our bank account this morning. Holy smokes, I cannot believe what the CFO of OpenAI just said. And keep in mind, I'm gonna play this for you. She was the CEO of Nextdoor, you know, that like kind of annoying neighborhood app that everybody
how many of you guys watch
on.
Meet Kevin?
She also worked as the CFO over at a Square, now known as Block, anyway. And now she's at OpenAI, so she gets around corporate positions. Now, but what's really wild is they're basically asking for a bailout. They're kind of like, yeah, you know, if the government gave us a bailout, you know, we wouldn't mind. We're not saying that the government is offering us a bailout or even considering it. We're just saying we wouldn't mind. And I'm like, what? Now, you have to see it to believe it, because it's not just that, but I'm also going to talk to you about some crazy potential stock moves. And I'm not talking about like day trade move. I'm talking about like long-term wise. There's something that I saw that's kind of wild, and it is related to AI, and you need to know about it. Regarding more day tradey, this was insane, dude. This was absolutely insane. This is a screenshot of a very brief summary of our alpha report, because we make a little summary of our alpha report.
All right, get to the point.
This morning, I'm like,
come on, Kevin.
this is just wild.
OpenAI at our core are the model company that needs always to be the state of the art. That's what we've done time and time again.
We are so good at spending that we have to keep spending because of our turtlenecks.
So this is one thing that I want to talk to you guys about. There are so many doom and gloom AI experts like Kevin right now, right? That don't understand. They don't see this part. Kevin is not doing this. He's not coding. Companies are firing thousands of people because one developer can now produce 10x what they used to be able to produce because of AI, right? And companies are spending millions on tokens to run this AI in their enterprise because it costs money to do this, right? Well, for somebody small time like me, I pay $200 a month to have access to this. More than that, between Cursor and Claude, and the other tools, ChatGPT and all that, I'll spend like $400 a month to have access to this tool. There are millions of people who are spending the same amount or more, because once you get to a certain level, you have to pay for the tokens. They do what's called an API connection to whatever your IDE is, and you got to pay for every token that you're using. All of this is all the output and input is costing money. And there's companies that are spending millions of dollars. And most of these companies host their code on Amazon AWS. The last earnings call that Amazon had, they killed expected earnings because of AWS. And why did that happen? Because all of these apps are spending a shit ton of money to host their apps on AWS. And what people don't realize is, like Kevin, these companies are making so much money from this. It doesn't even have to be the typical, the casual user that's sitting at home using ChatGPT. That's not what's funding this crazy new economy of AI. It is this. It is this, and it is powerful as hell. And it's what's powering robotics, which is the future as well. So yeah, they're really good at what they do. And people who are investing in these companies are seeing this. They're seeing this. The typical person the typical person that's talking about AI don't even know that this shit exists. So I'm investing in everything AI because I know about this stuff, right? Let's keep listening to what Kevin's saying.
Need the money.
GPT-5 is no exception, but even in areas like open source, we're attempting to put the state-of-the-art model always out into the world.
No limit.
And in order to do that, we always want to be on the frontier chip. So the question is, how long does a chip remain on the frontier? Is it 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, or even longer? Now, in a world where we have...
That statement is a reference to depreciation curves.
Because of the technology, the chips that are being used to power this stuff. If you understand how AI works, large language models work, you need chips that can handle this much information that's getting pushed, right? And in order to remain competitive, there's OpenAI, there's the companies in China, there's companies in I think Korea and stuff, and there's obviously all the companies in America that are competing to be the best technology out there to power this stuff, because those are the companies that are going to make the most money. And so in order to continue to compete, you can't just have chips regular, like the moment there's a more powerful chip that NVIDIA is probably going to create, you got to go buy a shit ton of chips. And these chips are $3,000, 30 grand a piece. And you got people like Elon Musk, who's got Grok, who's buying 300,000 of these chips. And then you have to power these chips. The amount of energy that's being used is insane in order to produce the best product all the time, because it's going to change the world.
Okay, if you don't know what this means, that is totally understandable. Most people don't, and it's fine. I'm going to give you like the 5-year-old explanation over the next 30 seconds here. Okay, this isn't a pitch. It's an explanation. If the chip equals 2 year, then worthless. Then when you buy it.
And think about it. If a chip is 30 grand a piece, holy smokes, you need a lot of money pouring in to keep this AI thing growing. And what people are scared of is that AI is not going to be the income producer. It's not going to be able to make up for all the money that's being poured into it. I think it is. Hell yeah, I think it is.
You spend $100 on chip, $50 cost year 1, $50 cost year 2, now worth 0. Okay, understand that if a chip has a 2-year depreciation schedule, that is after 2 years it's worthless, you're gonna have massive expenses. Like, you think the expenses are big right now at Microsoft or Amazon or Meta, the expenses would be 4x as expensive as what we're seeing right now. Now, we can see some of it in the cash flow statement, right? But on the income side, these companies' EPS would be getting destroyed. When you butter it out like this, you actually only tell the world, hey, we're only gonna charge that to our income statement, but we're gonna show both on our cash flow statement, right? If you can butter it out over 4 years, then it would look like this, right? So to 25, that would be year 4, year 3, right? So you buy a chip today for $100, you're only putting on your income statement that it's costing you 25 this year, 25 next, right? This is a basic depreciation schedule. Now, if you're gonna lend against the chip, you want to have some collateral. So if you're gonna lend against the chip that only has a 4-year life, you might want your money back. You're 50% down. You might want it back by year 2, the end of year 2, right? If the chip has a 10-year life, you might be okay financing out to 5 years, 50% of the collateral value, right? Right now, we're still seeing old chips that actually have long depreciation curves. But the question is, how long will it last? The reason we have these longer curves right now is frankly because the supply is constrained. It's not that Amazon doesn't know how to make good tranny processors. I call them the tranny processors. They're tranium processors. I shouldn't say that. It's not that, Google doesn't know how to make good TPUs, the tensor, core processors. It's not that AMD doesn't know how to make good chips. It's that NVIDIA has the freaking moat on the factory line. Like, literally, you're playing Mario Party, okay?
Yep.
And NVIDIA is taking all the damn watermelons. And you're like, bro, let me have some. They're like, nah, bro, I got 80% of this contract, man. Y'all could split the other 20%. And then you're looking at the factory owner going, bro, make other manufacturing lines. And they're like, bro, you realize it takes us like 3 years to make up another line of watermelons. And it's like, well, damn. This is how NVIDIA gets the margins.
No compute, or we're compute constrained. We are absolutely using
Well, to be fair, NVIDIA earned that because they invented it.
chips that have like A100 equivalents that have been
Everybody-
around like
Everybody else is inspired and motivated by what NVIDIA did, and now they're playing catch up. They earned it.
maybe 6-7 years at this point in time. If that's the case, financing chips gets a lot easier. If the timeline on the chip stays short, that gets harder. And so this is where we're
Keyword. If the timeline on the chips stays short. If you actually listen to that closely, you realize that she didn't say, if it becomes short, we're screwed. She says, it is short. Listen to it again, because it's really important. I'll just go right here.
like maybe 6-7 years at this point in
6,
time.
7.
If that's the case, financing chips gets a lot easier. If the timeline on the chip stays short, that gets harder. And so this is where we're looking for an ecosystem of banks, private equity, maybe even governmental, the ways governments can come to bear.
Meaning like a federal subsidy or something?
Meaning like just first of all, the backstop, the guarantee that allows the financing to happen.
Wait. Listen to that. You literally had the Wall Street Journal going, wait. So you're all saying you want some stimmy checks, which is fine. That's what China does. You know? Companies are like, hey, we'll do humanoid robots. And then China's like, we don't want your shit. I don't know why they sound like angry
What?
Germans, but whatever, we'll go with it. And then all of a sudden, China looks around and goes, what are the Americans doing? Oh, damn. Look at that Optimus robot in the distance. Go make the robots now. We will shower you with subsidies. Again, I don't know why my Chinese accent is angry German, but whatever. So, that's how China operates, with subsidies. Like, we will subsidize this. We'll take an ownership stake, whatever. That's very much the communist way. We will guide the means of production. Cool. Now, that's not what she said. She actually said, nah, we don't want stimulus. We want you to guarantee that in the event we go bankrupt because we suck at spending money and we just blow it all because we have such a high ego with our turtlenecks that we need to be at the frontier of everything. So in the event that we go bankrupt, or the stock plummets,
I don't get Kevin's
not
logic.
unlike a company that she used to work for or be the CEO of, like, so choking on myself here. Nextdoor Holdings, a $666 million market cap.
It's apples and oranges. This is apples and oranges. This is the new revolution. Like, you had the industrialization age and the innovation age. This is the new, like, whoever wins the AI race is on top of the world order. That's basically where we're at.
Bro,
This is apples and oranges, bro. This is why China is stimmying every single thing, and they're putting all their eggs in that basket. And America's like, oh shit, we need to focus on AI.
you can't make this shit up sometimes. You just can't make it up. Down over 83%. I'm sorry. It was not my stock. I didn't make it go
I can't
down.
watch any more of this. You guys get what I'm saying, though? All right. Let's see. Guys, I don't got much more for you guys. I think I'm going to end the live here now. I don't know if you guys enjoyed this live or what, but these days, man, I don't cut hair in the shop. I haven't cut hair in 5 years in the shop, probably 6 years now. Still building businesses and still want to make content, but I poured all this money into this setup. But a lot of stuff that I've been doing is for 6FB, so. But we got some fire content coming soon, especially when these apps are out. It's going to be crazy. So, anyways, before I get off, maybe I'll leave 10 minutes for a Q&A if you guys got any questions. By the way, if you're in 6FB, tomorrow we will be live for our Zoom call at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So tap in if you are in 6FB. But I got a few minutes here that I could answer questions if y'all got any. It could be barbering, it could be business, it could be life, it could be whatever the hell. Option 3. Will they start teaching AI in high schools? I think they should. And look, that's one of the things that annoys me about what people vote for. Like, why is there never policies that say, hey, we are going to reform the current education system? By the time you leave high school, you should have a skill set. It could be AI, it could be barbering, it could be electrician, it can be accounting. By the time you get out of school, and you might not choose to do that, but at least you have a fallback plan, right? It's better than trying to make a provide for your family at an entry level job, and then saying we need Mondami. Why aren't we reforming our schools? Why aren't we pouring tax dollars into that, into the future? Because people don't vote for that. People want fixes now. What's going to get you voted in is more social programs. That's the reality. Am I wrong? But I do think that's what should be. And honestly, you don't even need schools to teach this stuff. And I think that's a little bit of a threat as well, because you can learn so much more if you cared. You can learn so much more just asking ChatGPT questions, Google Gemini questions, Anthropic, Claude Code questions, Grok, literally just asking it questions, being curious, finding the answers between AI, between YouTube, between TikTok. You can learn so much. Bossio, do you have any rules about how loud music can get in your shop? No, we just want it to be a professional environment. So, as long as it's professional, some of our shops they'll play like jazz versions of modern songs. So like it's really, really cool what Tito at the Channel Side location, he be playing. Like he'll play it'll be like a jazz version of Future, of Drake, of R&B songs. And it's dope. It's really, really dope. People enjoy it. They play it pretty loud, but it doesn't make the environment, because there's you got to be. Here's the thing, that a lot of barbers, they be at a shop and they think that customers are there to serve them or something. There's no common courtesy. There's no consideration. You got people who are sensitive to loud music, to noise. There's older folks that don't want to hear all that shit. There's professional people that don't want to hear bumping music, and then you have neighbors that don't want to hear that stuff. So for us, we've never had a problem with that, though. As long as we tell our guys, just keep it professional. You guys are adults. There's 10 managers in here. Be smart. We don't want to hear complaints because you guys are stupid enough to put music above your money. Yeah, I know, bro, and it's just so small-minded. What did you to find barbers with your first location? What did I do to find barbers my first location? It was difficult. It was just me and my business partner Perez for the first few months. And then a barber stopped by, had clientele. We hired him. That barber had friends that were asking him about this location, and they wanted to come over because he had such a good experience working. And that's when we realized that our customers are not just people trying to get haircuts. Our customers are barbers too. And so we want to make sure that reviews from our barbers are high, because if barbers love working at our shop, they probably have barber friends that they went to school with or something that don't love their shop and are like, damn, for real? What do you mean they're following the laws? And if you're an independent contractor, you actually are. Wait, I get to be my own boss there? Yep, I'm going over there. Now we have a waiting list of barbers, right? But that's how it started for us. And now we're at 12 locations, or 11, opening our 12th December 15th. What is one thing you learned or mastered this year that you're really proud of? Coding. I learned how to code. I've built apps, several apps. Very proud of that. That's a skill set I can teach my kids. That's generational wealth, right? If my kids have a cool idea, we can work on one together. That'll be fun. They're not at that age where they're interested right now, but I'm sure it's gonna come. One of these days, right, babe? I pray. Elijah might have a cool idea, wants to make an app. We sit down, spend a week knocking one out. Now my son has a business. Same thing with my daughter. And it could be whatever they're interested in. My kid loves basketball. Maybe we build an app. Right now, YouTube one-on-one scenes are really, really cool. So I was thinking, create like an app that scrapes all the YouTube channels, all the videos, and automatically creates a profile for every basketball player in the YouTube basketball scene, creates a profile for them, and keeps track of their records, of their stats, of all that stuff, and ranks the players. And then we can monetize it, make it free, but monetize it with brands, That would be cool. My son loves basketball. It might be something that he would want to work on with me. That's generational wealth. Do you believe more people should reconcile their relationship with power? I don't know what that means. What does that mean, babe? Do you believe more people should reconcile their relationship with power? What does that mean? I don't know either. Could you explain? Sorry for my ignorance. All right, guys, I got 5 minutes left, and I'm gonna end this live, y'all. Great questions though so far, man. I appreciate y'all even asking. My struggle is to fill my shop with barbers because there's so many barbershops around me. But they're not good. Most barbershops are not good. They're not great environments for barbers. Most of them. You don't have competition. I'm telling you. We have 11 locations. No, 10 locations in Tampa alone. And if you've ever been to Tampa Bay, there's a barbershop in every plaza. If there's a barbershop, a salon suite, and a salon in every single plaza, and there'll be 4 in an intersection, and every single one of them has 3 different places that you can go get a haircut. And we still have no issues finding barbers. As a matter of fact, I will allow someone to fly in from another state, move here, start them, and I know they're going to make money. You will never struggle filling your chairs if you struggle taking care of walk-ins. But what happens is people become barbershop owners because they're good at cutting hair and they have a clientele behind the chair. But you never built the skill sets that are necessary to build other people's chairs. And that's a different skill set than word of mouth, than having an amazing haircut and taking pictures of it and getting followers on Instagram. Some barbers can't do that. So you have to have a platform that barbers can rent a chair from and get walk-ins. So if your shop is walk-in city, you'll never, ever have a problem finding barbers unless you're in a small town that just doesn't have barbers. And then your bigger problem is you need to figure out how to create more barbers. That might be you going to legislation. That might be you creating your own barber school. That might be you creating your own apprenticeship program, right? But I see barbershop owners promoting looking for professional, ambitious barbers with clientele. I don't need to do that. What I do is we got way too many walk-ins. I need help. We have people walking out. We need barbers who want clientele. Whoa, that's a different promotion right there. That's different marketing. That's a different way to recruit barbers. Will I be attending the Benito Super Bowl halftime show? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's going to break records. It's going to be the best halftime show ever. So hopefully that helped, Gabriel. Being pragmatic has proved to be effective. Power through knowledge and other forms of influence. Bro, you are smart because I still don't know what you're talking about. I love you. But I'm going to have to use ChatGPT to explain this for me because, yo, you are obviously a smart guy. Hold on. When someone says being pragmatic has proved to be effective, power through knowledge and other forms of influence. What are they saying? What does that mean? Let's see if ChatGPT can figure it out. In clear, simple language, being practical and grounded in reality works, and real power comes from knowledge and from the influence you build, not from emotions, wishful thinking, or loud opinions. Absolutely. Absolutely. I absolutely agree, and I adopt that ideology 100%. You know, and I think a lot of young people, they don't, right? You know, you can see what people are attracted to. They're attracted to these ideas, these emotional narratives. That's what people are attracted to. Politicians get voted on that. Scammers. We never run out of scammers because how do they market themselves? Unrealistic expectations. Delayed gratification is like people are allergic to it. I mean, it's not that hard, right? You have a widget. Let me show you guys something. You have a widget. Let's say you were able to go, let's say you figured out how to fix your credit. People do not want to manage and be disciplined with their credit. But let's say they fix their credit. You figured out a way to make, I don't know, $80,000 a year from your job or your business or whatever, right? You have a 740 credit score. Okay. And you were going to go to the bank and you said, I want to get a $50,000 loan. I'm willing to put a personal guarantee. And this might be a personal loan or a business loan, right? Or an SBA loan. You can buy a business with an SBA loan. You could. You're going to take the risk. Okay. And you found a restaurant. Let's say it's a restaurant. I don't like restaurants. I would never open one, but let's just say it's a restaurant. And that restaurant sells food. And the average ticket at that restaurant is $20. It's a cheap restaurant. You do $11 bowls, $12 bowls, $4 drink or $3 drink. And sometimes it's a family of two, a family of three, family of five. Let's say your average ticket is, let's go with 40. Okay. How many of those dishes can you make an hour? A lot, because it's not cutting hair. It's not like you're spending 30 minutes doing a haircut, 45 minutes doing a haircut. You can make that bowl in 1 minute, let's say, because or let's be conservative. Yeah, let's say you can make you can make on average a bowl every 2 minutes because you have 2 cooks or something. I don't know. Okay. So in an hour with 2 cooks, you could potentially make how many bowls? 60 bowls times $40. You could potentially make $2,400 an hour. All right. And let's just be conservative. Let's just say you're only going to make a bowl every 10 minutes. Right? That's still $240 an hour with 2 or 3 people on staff. And you're just marketing your ass off. And next thing you know, you're getting, forget all that math. Let's just say you're getting 50 customers a day, average ticket of $40. What is that? That's $2,000 a day from that restaurant. Okay, let's say you can only get 20 customers a day. That's $800 a day in your restaurant. Now, you got to look at your expenses and stuff, but it's really not that hard. The skill set that you need to build is business. It ain't hard to cook something, guys. You can buy a restaurant that already has the menu, already has all that shit built, but it's not that hard to build that menu. What you really got to learn is business and marketing. Can you get people through the door? The problem is that we don't learn how to market as a business, how to advertise as a business. Between my entire enterprise, we probably spend $50,000 a month just on ads. I've learned a lot by doing that. And I can guarantee you any business I can start running ads for and make money right away. Get customers right away. This stuff is possible for anybody. You got to go learn some shit. You got to learn how to do it. And you can learn it. All right. I got to get out of here, man. I appreciate y'all hanging out in here. Hopefully you guys, learned something. You enjoyed the live. And yeah, if you're not part of 6FB, man, join.